The guys beside me are doing their part to help discover a solution for one of the biggest problems in the world. The energy problem. Say hello to the crew from the Victoria Energy Expedition. Ahoy!
We are facing an energy crisis.
Energy crisis. Energy crisis.
By now we know that the energy problem is real, but let me break it down for you. We have roughly 53 years of oil, 62 years of gas, and 118 years of coal before we run out. Then what? To solve the energy problem, we need to fill the gap between energy supply and demand with clean, renewable, and inexpensive energy. And while new sources of energy like solar, wind, and hydroelectric are changing things for the better, the vast majority of the world still relies on fossil fuels to heat their homes, fuel their cars, and power their computers. We're procrastinating because we're not suffering right now. It's going to be the next generation that bears the burden, and this is a problem. And while we hear about the energy problem all the time, when we hear about the solutions, we think
it's too expensive.
It's not reliable.
It's not practical.
So we do nothing. That's when these guys from Washington, D.C., who work with renewable energy policies, decided to do something.
We realized we work in the renewable field, but other than dealing with energy policy, we were really on the sidelines.
So they rolled up their sleeves, pooled their money, bought a sailboat, tore out the motor, and put in an electric one, installed solar panels, and set sail. They set sail in search of places that were using renewables with hopes that they could help discover the solutions other countries were using.
And if more people knew about it, they'd take action now.
And after visiting several countries, they noticed a pattern. People were only taking action when there was no other choice.
Hurricane Maria slamming into the island, and as you heard, one official saying the island is destroyed.
Puerto Rico was hit by a massive hurricane which caused the whole island to lose power. So they were forced to find better solutions, like solar-powered fire stations, hospitals, and water plants. But is it reliable?
What we've built is a microgrid that is literally making the difference between life and death,
Now take Cuba. Cuba used to rely on Venezuelan oil until very recently. With the current Venezuelan crisis, they were forced to seek energy independence. So instead of using coal and oil, they started using the sun. But is it reliable?
Pero tiene energía por 7 días si no hace sol.
7 days of energy on one charge. Soon, 1/4 of the country will become energy independent because they've been investing in solar, electric vehicles, and reducing energy consumption.
But isn't that expensive?
Expensive? No, we have PV farms that will pay for itself in 7 to 10 years.
These places had no choice. They were forced to take action. But why isn't the world taking action now?
People are waiting on the next Einstein to create something magical that'll fix everything. But that's not the way we make a dent.
How will we make a dent?
By getting on the ground and sharing other stories. Places like Cuba and Puerto Rico have few resources and are becoming energy independent. If they can do it, others can too.
And the more people that know about it, the more they'll use it, and the cheaper it'll get.
Nathan, Liam, Andrew, and Chad are the perfect example of how you don't have to be a superhero, you don't have to be rich, and you don't have to be a genius.
What?
Sorry guys, to change the world. You just have to want to make an impact. Because if we all decided to make an impact, even if it's tiny, imagine how many problems we could solve together.
Solar, wind, and hydroelectric are here today. They're reliable, practical, affordable, and infinite. We're on a mission to share that with the world.